Hello everyone. So I made like several breastfeeding videos when I was still breastfeeding, like, you know, when Elle was like 1 or 2 months, but then we moved when she was about 3 months old, and so all that footage, I just feel like when I look at it and I think about putting it up, I just feel like it's so dated. And so I wanted to just make fresh new footage. I hope that's okay. I wanted to give some tips for women who are looking to breastfeed, because I know in our culture, I think several cultures that I belong in, the culture of being an African American, the culture of being young in my 20s, the culture of being someone who lives in an urban environment like New York, and also the culture of just, I guess, being a woman these days. It seems like breastfeeding is something that not everybody is doing. Like, the benefits of breastfeeding are so great for your children. Even if you don't do it for very long, even if you breastfed for 1 month, the benefits are so good for your baby for that first month of their life, to get your milk, your healthy, nutritious milk. I breastfed Elle for almost 4 months, and now she's on Enfamil formula, and she has, at this point in her life, 6 ounces when she does have a bottle, and she's having about 5 or 6 bottles a day. So that's just a little background, but I want to talk to you about some breastfeeding tips that I have. My first tip would be, for those of you who are looking to breastfeed, is do some reading online. They have lots of websites that offer information about breastfeeding. There's also books about breastfeeding, because the more you know, the more prepared you'll be. So that's my first tip. I think, like a lot of people, when you're looking into something new, whether it's a career, whether it's a new location, whether it's a new school, whether it's a new diet, you do a lot of research, and it should be the same. Don't slack off on educating yourself when it comes to breastfeeding, because it will make your success at it a lot less realistic. If you know a lot about breastfeeding, you'll be equipped with the proper tools to go the distance when it gets tough and it gets rough. So after you've done your research, what you want to do is make sure that you are ready to start breastfeeding at the hospital. You have to start at the hospital. You don't want to be at the hospital for those 2 to 3 days and then come home and then say, okay, now let's begin. The first opportunity for you as a new mom, or a second-time mom, or a 5-time mom, whatever, is right after the baby is delivered. They'll take some time, the nurses will take some time to clean up the baby, clean up you, and so on. But then once that baby is done and you're all done, you want to get the baby right on you, and you want to do that skin to skin. Your breasts are naturally warmer, about 2 degrees, I believe, if I remember correctly, because the baby's going to be adjusting to the temperature of the outside environment. So your breasts are really warm for the sake of heating up and warming up your baby. So you want them to be on you, and then the baby's going to know your scent. They're going to know they're going to recognize your heartbeat. They're going to love that warmth, and it's a bonding moment for you. In addition to that, those moments help to stimulate your milk. So, I mean, your body God is so good how He created our bodies. And then you want to nurse your baby right then and there. The initial latch of your baby is going to be strong, or it could be very weak. It really just depends on how your baby is. My babies were both born healthy weights, no complications. They were both you know, full term. My son was a little bit early, but not much, only a few days earlier than full term. But my daughter and my son, their latches were so strong. And a lot of people say things about breastfeeding being painful and so on, but I want to let you know that if you have a bad latch, then it's going to be extremely painful for you. If you have a good latch, then it's going to be a little uncomfortable at first, because it's an unusual feeling, but it's not going to be painful. And with my son, we had bad latches, and with my daughter, we had beautiful latches. And I think for me, because I had experienced it already the first time, I knew what a bad latch felt like. So I didn't endure the pain any longer than I needed to, because I knew what a good latch was supposed to feel like. So with my son, I just let him suck on my nipple, and even though I had learned that they need to have more of the areola in their mouth than the nipple, in practice, it wasn't working out the way that I knew it should have worked out in theory. So step 3 would be for you to make sure that you are getting a good latch. You need not only the nipple to be in their mouth, but a whole part of the areola. So the way that I would hold my son was more of a football hold, because I have very big breasts and my babies were small. They were less than 7 pounds. And I would do a football hold like this, bring him to my nipple, and I would wham it into his mouth. I would like stick his head like, and I knew I was getting all of it in, and that's how we developed our good latch. And then as the babies get older and they become more familiar with the eating process from your breast, then they will get a better latch all in all. So step 4, I would say, is to utilize the hospital staff. I don't know about every hospital, but the hospital that I gave birth in, which was New York Methodist in Brooklyn, in the Park Slope area, they have a lactation consultant there every single day. And they have classes in the morning for the moms to go to learn about breastfeeding. They gave us information in paper. We watched videos, and the lactation consultant made herself available after the class to come to our rooms to discuss information with us, and also to help us with proper latch. The lactation consultant literally took my breast and put it in my baby's mouth, showed me how to hold my breast, which way to hold it, to ensure that it goes right into the back of my baby's throat. And by her showing me this, it helped me understand better how to do it. Step 5 would be to be strong, be patient, because it is not easy to do something like breastfeeding when you've never experienced it before. It is a challenge because you're used to being mobile and you're used to being able to get up and go and do things as you wish. And once you're breastfeeding, all of that ceases. You cannot be away from your baby for more than an hour or 2, because breastfeeding babies eat more frequently because your milk is easy for them to digest. Therefore, it goes through their bodies a lot faster than formula, which takes a lot more time because it's artificial. So while they're trying to digest and process formula, it will take 3 hours, 4 hours, and it's more dense. When it comes to your breast milk, it's very different. Your baby can process it and digest it so easy because it's perfectly made for them, that they don't even have to go longer than 2 hours at a time, and therefore you being away from your baby for an extended period of time is going to be something you're not going to be able to do if you're breastfeeding. So be prepared for that. Yeah, I think those are all the basic tips for right now. What I would like for you guys to do is to help me tailor the video so that all of the videos are not 10 minutes long. If you could ask specific questions about breastfeeding, and then I'll make videos that are tailored to that. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and as always, I love you for watching. Bye. And she doesn't take another nap again after her, like, you know, 9-10 o'clock nap, and then her noon nap. She's usually up again for the rest of the day, and then